Champions, Mr. Eno. Champions, Mr. Eno. Champions, Mr. Eno. Let's go! Fight, fight, fight! RBS Cup champions, Mr. Eno.
All right, good evening and welcome to the final table of this weekend special, a 400,000 guaranteed tournament. And we are down to the final table. We'll be bringing to you. You can see it in your stream right now. This is happening at the Metro Card Club, home of Philippine Poker Champions. Good evening again. And I will be your caster for tonight. My name is Chester Intia. As we see a race from Carlos. Let me just get Carlos Mariano. Current blinds at 8,000, 60,000. Carlos racing it to 42,000. That's 10,000 more than two bigs. He got a call from James Cruz. And Rodolfo Ramo will not defend this big blind. This is a heads up between Carlos Mariano and James Cruz. James with two overcards, King Jack Hearts, while Carlos holding pocket tens. The flop shows one paint card, but it's not the correct paint card or what James wants to see. It's a queen of diamonds, so pocket ten still good for Carlos, who now bets 30,000 on the flop. James will float. And the turn is a four of hearts, giving James Cruz with a king high flush draw. He's now improved to 10 outs. Carlos checking that turn because there's already an overcard. Let's see what James is gonna do. He's reaching for some chips, and he will take this opportunity to bet 63,000 and try to take down this pot. Although Carlos still ahead at this point. His line is should be check call here. There's only one overcard. There's the call by Carlos. River is an ace. Not a good river for Carlos. He checked on the last street. Let's see if James can still capitalize on this. He's again reaching for some chips. If the queen did not do the trick, wow, that's a good move by James Cruz. Maximum pressure. He might just do the trick here. Very good move by James. If Carlos did not believe that he has the queen, he's given him a lot to think with that ace on the river because that's within his calling range. And ace X. Wow. Carlos, since he's the original racer here, could have just bet that river to try and control the action because he can represent that ace since he's the one who opened. This might just make it. There you go. That's how you play position. The mistake of James, sorry, the mistake of Carlos in that action is checking that river because he could certainly have represented that ace and control the action. He has given the window for James to take down the pot and took down he did. Good play for James Cruz. Let's go over to our live stream audience. Kuya Mills is railing for Rodolfo Ramo. Jacel Policarpio also rails for Rodolfo. And we continue with our second hand. Jernan Paran Moreno. Shout out sa'yo. Happy watching. Nico Isip. Think this is the second time Nico made it to the TV table. He's there right now. And he's the chip leader with over 1 million in chips. He raised to 32,000, two bigs with pocket fives. When Carlos watched this live stream, he will kick himself in the head. But it's generally an okay fold considering the run out. But he could have just really made a bet on the river because he opened the action. He could easily represent an ace premium there, thus controlling the action. But he checked, which is always or more often than viewed as a sign of weakness. And that gave James Cruz a chance to steal the pot. All right, let me give you the complete rundown. At seat number one is James Cruz. He came into the final table with 436,000 in chips, of course. A lot have been added to that, courtesy of that first hand. Seat number two is Stanley Harata with 144,000. Seat number three is Jose Padilla with 321,000. Seat number four, Rodolfo Ramo with 564,000 in chips. Seat number five, Ronald Morfe with 759,000. Seat number six is John Nico Isip, the chip leader with 1,128,000. Seat number seven, a player from South Korea, Jinseo Park with 270,000. Seat number eight is Juan Carlos Mariano with 313, although that have been slashed considerably. And rounding up the final nine is Metro regular Andrew Andy Abundo with 566,000 in chips. That's the lineup. All right. This is the third hand of this final table. Rodolfo Ramo taking advantage of his advantage in position. He raced from the button and took down that uncontested pot. That's the current chip count, the updated chip count. Nico Isip still ahead. And we shout out also, this is shout out also for our live stream operators. We have Jolo and Diego right now. These are the guys that allows us to give you this live stream, the graphics, the updates in action. So let's give them credit for that. All right. James Cruz,
35.
suited connectors. Early position is gonna open 35,000. Dolph Ramo with pocket force.
Four call. Five call.
Both
Fold.
Rodolph Ramo and Morphe
Seven.
making the call.
Four players.
Jinsho also puts in an extra big blind to join the action. Flop is a paired one with a possible flush draw.
Seven. One check. Check, check na rin. Four check. All check. All check.
Everybody check that flop. Turn is an 8. Jinsho improving to an open-ended straight draw. Likewise for James, who originally initiated this action and is reaching for some chips. That open-ended straight draw gave him the confidence. Sorry, he's not on an open-ended straight draw. Sorry for that. It's Jinzo who is. While James hit the 8 on the turn, Dolph Ramo and Ronald Morphe will fold to that bet of 40,000. Of course, Jinzo will peel off the last street, hoping to hit his 13 outer.
One call. Heads
He
up.
has two overcards and 9, and and he gets there. He rivered the higher pair, the jack,
Check show.
and James will see that he got rivered. So Jinsho will take down that pot. All right, let's we have Don Don sa ating Facebook live stream. He says, pa-shoutout po pati sa misis kong si Rona Manalo while watching. Salamat. Ano yung ginagawa nyo while watching? Dapat usually man. But anyway, shoutout to Don Don at sa kanyang wife na si Rona Manalo. Enjoy watching. Roel Kawole, shoutout. Rooting for Ronald Cases Morphe. Go for the Spady.
20 big blinds po.
Bay Berberabe is railing for Rodolfo Ramo.
Tenfold. One fold. 50.
Shout out also to our live stream viewers in our YouTube live. You can also chat in our live chat for the YouTube live stream.
Watching call.
And I'm monitoring both platforms so I can read your chats.
Raise 34.
Let us know who are you supporting. Remuel Sales, magkano ang pay sa 9th place? Mamaya pag may na-out, papakita natin yung payout at malalaman mo kung ano yung kung magkano yung payout.
35.
Alright. Dolph Ramo, being active early in our final table, he raised with King 9 suited. Jinso Park makes the call at the small blind with Queen 7 suited. Both players with suited clubs. And Carlos Mariano with Queen 10. He can actually squeeze this with that hand, but he's not gonna do that. So he just calls.
Yan, ganyan. Seven, nine,
All right.
check.
So I was just given a copy of the payouts, and to answer the question, ni Remel Sales, 9th place pays 6,750. The buy-in for this tournament, this is 400,000, is 1,650. That's the buy-in.
7, 4. 9, 4.
So the flop is ace 10 jack. Dolph Ramo missing this. Carlos, on the other hand, hits bottom pair, but he was pushed out earlier because of overcards. Let's see if Dolph can do the same. He checks this. If Dolph checks back, that is gonna give confidence to Carlos Mariano. If Dolph will be able to pull out a second barrel here, that might be enough to push Carlos again out of this spot. Let's see what he is gonna do.
4 bet 40.
Big shout out to the current Christmas special champion, Mark Jerick Almusahin. Good evening to you, champ. At yun na nga, Dolph Ramo found a way to really represent that ace. Sabi nga nila, play it like you have it. And pag pinanood ulit ni Carlos Mariano itong live stream na to, or the replay, makikita niya how his opponents was able to push him out of those spots that should have been his. Anyway, Ruel Marasigan, shout out from Australia. Happy watching to you, Ruel Marasigan, and to all our live stream watchers, both in our Facebook Live and our YouTube channel. You can watch this in both platforms. Facebook Live, just go to the Metro Card Club official Facebook page. And in YouTube, search for the channel of Metro Card Club.
3, 4.
The advantage ng nanonood kayo sa YouTube is that you can always rewind. That is not the same for a Facebook Live
4, 4. 5, 4. 6, auto fold.
stream. And let's give a shout out to one of the OGs of Philippine poker. Fortunately, he's based in Iloilo now, Francis Panulay Beliran. Happy watching to you, brother. He's requesting, his wish is to have a Metro card Iloilo. Actually, this had been told by me for a lot of times. Metro Card Club is actually open to partnering with investors in different provinces to put up a branch of Metro Card Club. Right now, there's one in Davao, Metro Card Club Davao. There used to be one in Cebu, Metro Cebu, and who knows, there might be one in Iloilo. So if you know of potential investors, they can partner with Metro Card Club. Of course, it's not as easy as it sounds, because this, at the end of the day, there's still a business. So the locality should be able to support
6, 4.
a healthy or card room to begin with. Angelo Balawag, shout out, watching from Double B Poker Club in Lipa. Shout out sa mga pokeristang Batanggenyo. Now, Carlos Mariano jams with Jack 9 all of his 89,000 in chips.
89.
It's folded to him at the button, a good spot to take down those dead money. One player out, that's Andy Abundo from the small blind. James Cruz with King 10. He can actually
Ayan,
call with this hand,
stream.
especially
89.
the jam came from the button. Of course, it's easy for us to say that because we're seeing their whole cards. Not that easy.
Not bad.
Not that easy for the players in the table. James laying down king high. Because easily, even though the shove came from the button, the normal shoving range of most players would be ace X. So that is still a good fold. Arman Rocabo, shout out kay Ciara Moore at Bugay Boogie. Ayan, Ciara Moore, Bugay Boogie. Shout out coming from Arman Rocabos watching us from our Facebook or in our Facebook live stream. This is the eighth hand of this final table. No eliminations yet. Alan Oriola. Shout out then rooting for Rodolfo Ramo and Ronald Morfe. Speaking of Dolph Ramo,
Raise 35,
May
35.
100 ka pa. No?
he once again opened the action. He raised it with pocket fours. Early position. Nico Isip with ace jack.
Yung mga short stack. Kung papasok ako, kasi anytime pwedeng magtulak. Kung sino man yung magtutulak, siya yung dapat handa akong harapin siya.
6 raise 90. 90.
Alright, so we see Nico Isip with a 3 bet to 90,000. Folded down to Andy Abundo at the button.
Tenfold. One fold. 90 total. One fold.
James and Stanley letting go of their cards. So it's a heads up. Oh, it's back again to Dolph Ramo because Nico Isip just raised his open. He needs to put in an additional 55,000 to engage Nico Isip in this hand.
Fold.
Meron na? May stream na? May stream na?
And Dolph Ramo will not do that. So Nico Isip
Hand.
taking down the pot.
Nakita mo na ako ng hand? Nakita na.
Load ako sa karon.
4 fold. 5 fold. Excuse me.
Pwede yan, ganyan.
Oh, pwede. Basta
Kasi
out,
may ano
away
delay
from
ba?
basta away from the table ka. Pati 20-minute delay naman yun.
7 fold. 9 fold. 9 fold. 10 fold. 16.
Tapos ano, after nyan, i-check mo yung reaction, yung mga comment section, tingnan yung reaction nila doon sa fold mo. Di ba? Sakit, di ba? Kaya hindi ko titignan yan eh. Kasi mas na ano ako sa mga reaction sa mga tao. Like, ay, sayang. Ay, ganito. Ay, ganito.
Alright. James
Mga ganun, di ba?
Cruz
Daming comment na ganun, di ba? Wala
with
na-
ace king is raising a limp.
56 total.
There's an early position limp from Jinso Park with ace 9 off.
3
Nakita mo yung pinag mo. Pinag tayo, wala pa, wala. Malayo pa eh.
So James with the raise
So, pag nasa after ng
to 56,000.
comment section, pag na-bluff ka, parang mabubuyo ka, mabubulig eh.
7 calls.
Jinso
Oo, yun nga eh.
makes the call. So heads up, going to the flop.
Kita nila, di ba? Yung
Ayaw, sorry.
napili masyado.
Eto. This is a problem with these hands like Jinso. Had he raised this instead of limping in, he could have been 3-betted and really define the hand strength of James. But as it shows here,
One bet 40.
let's see if we can get away from this. James will bet 40,000. How do you flop top pair and fold? That's a problem. So of course, Jinso will make the call.
7 call. Shot. 7 check.
Jinso again checking the turn.
One
120. One bet 120.
Betting 120. Let's see if Jinso will still make the call. He's gonna use one of his time banks. Those time banks allows a player to get an extra 30 seconds because Metro Card Club is using the shot clock now.
120.
Actually, not only in the final table. I think when the tournament reaches last two tables, time banks are now being used.
7 call.
There's the call from Jinsu. I don't think he can get away with this unless he reverses two pairs. He missed it
7 check.
on the river.
Check, check. So,
Wow! James Cruz just checked the river.
Nilagay yung
Why would he do that?
kasi draw heavy kaya siya 120. Draw heavy yung ano yung board eh. May flush draw, may gut shot.
Why would he do that? I mean, if you're... Wow, I don't think a set
Yung mga tatagin sila.
or anything that hits the draw will check you on the river. He has the advantage of position.
Nice, nice.
Wow. He just missed. I don't think Jinsu has any intention of folding. He could have
Nice try.
Felt
nice,
it.
Nice try.
his opponent and added an extra 100,000 had he not checked behind. I can't. I mean, wow. Anything that beat his hand
Akala ko nga, nilagay mo sa
will definitely shove on that river given the action and the remaining stack of the South Korean player. Wow. I mean, I think James just missed on the opportunity of getting all of the South Korean stack, but it is what it is. So let's move on.
pwede.
Alan Oriola, shout out Ruth. Sorry, I missed that. Bunso, ako yan. Maray na gabi, Manoy. Rooting for Kuya J. Padilla. Remel Sales, bawal mag-cellphone. Yes, wala pong cellphone. Although this live stream is coming to you on a 20-minute delay, so there's no way they'll be able to see real-time hands. The other security measures prohibits the use of cell phones in the final table. John Xavier, shoutout sa Team Baus. Uy, oo, kilala natin to, Team Baus. Hindi ko napagkita si Boss Baus, ha. But shoutout sa inyo coming from John Xavier. Alan Oriola, shoutout sa mga nasa Boss Poker ngayon. Shoutout to our idol, the dangerous Lester Edok, watching this live stream. Michael Libmac is railing for Rodolph Ramo. At si Eman Salvaloza. Shoutout Nico from Tugigaraw Poker Club. Yan. Ito ang ating current stack because of that win by James. He now jumps into second in chip count.
Big blind, auntie.
Sa ating YouTube live chat, Deuce Charles cannot believe the check behind. Christian Balpe it's all saying he would have called a shove. Well, can't really. I don't want to use that term, Christian. Sorry for that. But you know, most of or some of the players are really not as experienced as the others. So when they review this will be a chance for them to try and improve their gameplay. Bunso ako yan, dito sa Canada, bawal ang phone sa table kahit the final, kahit sa cash game, no phones allowed. Oh, lalo na ngayon, because the recent cheating that was caught in a poker game involves the use of cameras. That's why a lot of poker rooms internationally are putting up stricter guidelines or stricter rules. Even the way the dealers are dealing in some of the international tournament have been or being modified or are being modified because of the recent improvements also in the way people cheats. Generally, not just in poker games but in most table games.
Sa bagay, oo.
So ayan.
Alam ko na ako call siya eh. Hindi, showdown na lang tayo.
Kasi para malaman mo rin kung ano yung range niya, makakuha ka rin ng information to sa range niya.
Kumbaga, minimal cash out.
Well, that's a thing. So everybody's reacting to that check behind by James Cruz, who now we see he's opening his hand with suited connectors. That's the thing. Most of these maybe there's always room for improvement, of course, because all players should realize it's hard to get premium hands, even harder to hit them, and even harder to find an opponent that will pay you out. So the goal is always to maximize or optimize the hand, what you get from it. So, well, that's the benefits of watching live streams like this. You get to see different actions and how to improve them. This is a three-way pot. Dolph Ramo flopping top two pairs. He's gonna act behind. It's now on James Cruz, who's the original raiser of this hand. He will fire a continuation bet. Although Dolph Ramo hitting top two, this is a very wet flop, a draw heavy flop. I wouldn't be surprised if Dolph Ramo raised this. But he opted to just call. Siguro pwede niyang pailagin. Uy, he can get action from this as James recognizes that turn can easily be represented by him, but he checked it to Dolph Ramo. Dolph is gonna bet. How much is betting? 40,000 to a pot of 78. And James wisely folding. So good restraint being shown by James Cruz there. Nico Isep still lords it over with 1.2 million. Ramel Sales is saying, naging cautious siya kasi nag-call sa turn yung Korean ng big bet 120k. Pwedeng kasing easy 2 pairs yun. Depende din sa intention. But the question, Remuel, is, yung 2 pairs ba, check sa river? I don't think yung 2 pairs check sa river. Anyway, it's his prerogative. We're not saying na yung sinasabi natin is the correct play. We're just commenting on the play that transpired as Stanley open jams his last his remaining 104,000 with ace queen off. That's Stanley Harata. And he will take down the uncontested pot. Alright, once again, if you have just joined this live stream, this is the final table of the 400,000 guaranteed Metro Weekend Special happening at the Metro Card Club, home of Philippine Poker Champions, located inside the Metro Walk Complex in Ortigas, Pasig. 300 players or 300 entries for this weekend special. We're down to the final 9. Magandang gabi rin sa'yo, Robert John Sino Senedrin, watching our live stream cast in Facebook. Alright, nagtatanong si Junis Guerra, prize pool, pwede makita. If you look closely, upper left corner shows you the tournament information, the running tournament clock, and the current prize pool, which stands now at 450,000.
Well, although na, hindi mo naman may-play yung all yung nakatalo sa'yo yung ace king yung barahan. Totoo. Like, kung ace king had suit, ang sakit. Suit.
All right, from our YouTube chat, Christian Bopet, which website is the best search for upcoming tournaments in the Philippines? Unfortunately, there's no existing dedicated website for that. But what you can do is Search for the Facebook page of Pilipinas Poker because they always announce the upcoming tournaments of different card rooms and local and tournaments being held in the country. That's Pilipinas Poker Facebook page. Stanley racing with King Jack suited. Jinso making a call with suited connectors, also clubs. Action now down to Andy Abundo.
Call. Just one.
Three-way pot featuring James Cruz, Stanley. I always forget. Stanley Harata. Stanley Harasa and Jinso Park.
Check. Sit one.
James and Stanley with the same hand. Jinso Park. Not sure what he's thinking of.
10 seconds.
He's only drawing to a gut shot of 9, and even if that 9 comes out, he's not sure if he's drawing to the lower straight, so I don't think there's going to be any question here. Now it's down to James Park. I'm sorry, James Park. To James Cruz. James Cruz asking for a count. Big shout out to Red Edok watching our live stream, Facebook live stream. Also to CJU and one of Philippine Poker's best, Jun Kulot Mundalo, also watching our Facebook live stream.
5 seconds.
James Cruz still thinking about it. The problem is he only hits the mid pair. And Stanley, the original racer of this hand, jams on that flop. So easy to think that he's jamming with top pair. But James has an open-ended straight draw also. So that I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the call here. It's an okay call. The aggressive line taken by Stanley Harata might work for him. Even though we can see that both players are holding the same cards. And that worked for Stanley. Siyempre. Yon, pinakita niya yung hand, nakita ni James Cruz. James Cruz saw that they have the same hand.
Yun nga, call to chop na nga lang. Parang nilagay ko nga mas...
Bakit ka nag-pull dahil masakit yung 100k?
Ha?
Masakit yung 100k
Oo, call to chop na lang ako eh.
sa tao.
Ano ba marami? Ano marami?
Kung lumabas yung kailangan kong i-hit. King Jack din ako.
Hanggang chop lang talaga. Chop lang
Chop.
talaga.
Hindi, nilalagay ko siya sa queen. So, no-good ako sa Jack.
Ah,
Kaya
bagay.
ako mahit yung ace. Eh, baka ace queen. So, pag nag-ace straight pa kayo.
Small
Ay,
big blind first
or,
call.
or king queen.
Meron na first.
Queen 10 na.
42.
Jay Padilla with pocket kings. He raised it to 42,000.
4 fold.
Nakita mo?
Call, sit 5. Huwag mo naman itong gamitin para hindi masyadong may race. 42. Wait lang po.
Huwag mo na.
Sir, yung big line.
Big line na.
1 and 2 fold.
Heads up between Jay Padilla and Ronald Morphe. Padilla with a bet.
Keep 2. 5 fold.
With a bet of 35,000. And that was enough to take down the pot.
Floor. 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 Folding out of turn. Keep 2. Keep 2. Sir, huwag niyo pong tingnan yung card na may penalty po kayo na 1. Para lang ma-scan na yun.
Oo, titignan. Latag mo lang. Yan, latag mo lang.
Okay na. Auto-fold yung flip ko ha. Four. Flip 5 raise. 35. Six and 7 4.
Yun lang ang nakahabulin ko. Oo. Kasi kasi di nga ito nilagay sa kunin. Sakali. So, kahit na ako sa ano, sa board. Tapos meron ako
9 all in.
back-up din. Kaso yung jack niya. Kung kunin. So, yun lang ako.
78, no?
10.
79.
Hindi niya na double.
Hindi, pasok yan.
Hindi, pero hindi niya na double.
Oo, pero open number.
Oo.
Pasok yun sa 70 lang.
People up na.
Open number 10.
Open ang betting, no?
25. 50. That's 20. 70 lang. Open.
Open, pasok.
79 total.
Protection.
Magkano yung total?
79.
Pasok na. Dapat 25 mo. Open yung action pa dyan.
125.
125 total. Raise. Hook 1. Huwag mo nang gamitin yun. 125.
Wala ka, no? Sorry.
May. Last time ko na.
Nakita kita, baka
Last time ko na ako matalo.
Sorry,
Sinuturuan mo pa nga kanina eh.
baka matagal ka sa akin. Hanggang sa ikot ko.
No show pa.
Hindi pa mo show.
Do not show.
7. Ako yung card.
All right, we see Carlos Mariano 3-bet jams with a suited 10 jack. James Cruz facing that 3-bet 4 bets to 125,000. Holding jacks now. The action is back to Ronald Morphe, who originally raised this hand.
Naka na, no? Check.
Share.
Also makes the call. James Cruz checks behind. Both players checking the turn. And James earns the check mark.
Ano yung bet mo?
Kung wala ka dyan, side pat ako. Kung wala ka dyan.
Bakit siya?
Mali yung bet ko. Mali. Hindi na ito papasamahin. Masyado mababa.
Pero ano lang.
Kung umuli, kailangan ko yung makakaalis ako sa all-in niya. Pero,
Oh, tama naman. Kasi dalawang overcard yung
hindi sa all-in pre-flop mo.
all in three.
So we have our first casualty
Pero ang baba pa rin.
of the final table. Carlos Mariano exits at 9th place and gets 6,750 in cash prize.
Pag tinamaan sa board ng matataas, patay ka na. Okay, stop ko na.
Yung bet. Pero mga siguro 150.
Kinol ko lang siya kasi can afford.
Can afford to.
Can afford
Mga
kasi.
160 dapat na.
Oo. Kung gusto mo siyang iayos na talaga.
Oo. Kasi kailangan ko yung pag nag 160, tapos shop ka. Pwede ako umalis.
Pwede ka mga
Ganda kaya anong flop sa kanya.
Malaki yung chance.
Ha?
Dalawa kayong ganda ni flop.
ganda lang ng flop sa
Oo,
kanya.
yun. Kailangan yung
May chips pa
Actually,
siya.
pati kaya rin ako nag-call lang para dalawa kalaban niya.
7, 10, 4.
Kasi nung sa re-raise mo, nilagay na kita sa pocket.
So, ano din eh. Check siguro to kasi may isa eh.
Totoo. In-assume ko na sa kanya, let's say ace ka, ace siya, or something.
Nung in-announce ko yung bet ko, bigla ako napaisip, bakit parang ang baba ng raise ko? Mas affordable.
Affordable kasi.
Oo. I-isolate ko na talaga siya.
Kung hindi ako suited,
Jay Padilla with suited connectors.
JTO-han eh.
Raise it to 60,000. Ang current blinds natin, 10,000, 20,000.
Diba?
We're doing the big blind ante. Blind versus blind to because the hand was folded to this two. Tolframo raising that.
Alis na ako.
Re-raising Jay Padilla to 150.
Hindi naman siya like hit, diba? So, talo ko pa rin siya. Talo ko siya.
Ace high ka din.
Naisay ako eh.
10 seconds. 3, 4.
And Jay will fold to Rodolph Ramo. Nico Isip still is our chip leader. The South Korean player, Jinso Park, down to a little over 3 bigs.
Nice hand.
Ayaw mong gusto gawin sa'yo, di ba? May kasabihan na gano'n.
Small blind.
Grabe naman yun.
Wala na ako sa stream. Wala na ako sa stream.
Huwag mo daw kasing gawin sa
Tapos sa susunod magkikita kayo, murahin mo. Tapos ginant mo lang ako, pinap mo ako. Tapos basahin mo yung reaction sa comment section.
6, 7, 4, 10, 4.
Halos 4 na oras kitang nirespeto.
beses lang ako nakakoto. Para
Oo.
Behind ako.
42 total.
suited? Suited.
No, not suited.
Nela,
Ayun ha. Buti hindi 80. 80 ako. Dapat na flat. Dahil magkano yung rate? Ano lang?
Ang dami kong ano. Ang dami kong so far, dami kong pocket 4, pocket 2. Yung pang-call lang ng flop. Pang-call lang for flop. Tapos fold ako dahil wala.
Hindi ka nakakanino eh. Kung hindi ka pa nagsalita ng 120, tapos na yun. Minsan nakakablanko talaga yung malaking packet. Naka-ace king.
Hindi,
Game pa. No?
pero totoo naman, like, Jacks is the hardest hand to play.
Sa kanya kasi lahat nung ano eh. Mga good hands eh. Kaya mauubos na yung time back niya. Bigyan mo pa uli siya ng package jack. Ubus na yan.
Eh, kanina yung King Jack.
Bigla akong nablangan ko pagkasabi ko ng 125. Bakit 120? Isolate ko itong isa.
All in.
What the?
All in. 7.
Jinso Park from South Korea. Under the gun, looks at pocket fives. And open jams his remaining 72,000. That's a little over 3 bigs.
Seven.
71.
72.
72.
No passing grade, 72 only.
Call 3.
8. 8. 2.
Ikaw talaga pagka nasa big event, main event arena ka.
Jay Padilla flats with ace-8 off, pero I don't think he'll be able to see the flop or he'll be committed as Dolph Ramo sees pocket queens and 3 bets this spot
222. 4.
to 222,000.
5.
It's gonna be back to Jay Padilla. I don't think he can call with ace-8 off, so he folds. And the South Korean player Jinso Park down
Diamond sa King 6 diamond.
to a 2-outer.
Ako kukula ko sa 7.
His pocket fives holds the key to his tournament life.
Ako King 6.
Has to hit 2 of the remaining fives in the deck
Para marami kalaban. King 6 diamond. Ako.
to avoid elimination. Oh, 5 in the window. Jinso Park hitting set. Now the shoe is on the other foot.
Any 10, any queen.
It's now Dolph Ramo down to a 2-outer. It will not come, and Jinso Park escapes elimination with a set. Jumps to 260,000 in stack. Dolph Ramo still a healthy 669,000 left. What an escape for the South Korean player who lives to fight another day.
Parang nag-quadruple. Parang siyang nag-quadruple lang. Anim. Sa ano yan? Sa PCC. Yung 6.5. PCC to 6.5 per seat. Main event. 6.6 Floor.
All right, by the way, we have some important announcement. The Philippine Poker Tour, which is one of the regular Metro majors, will now push through. Metro Card Club was able to secure permission to run the Philippine Poker Tour.
Si ano,
Nadala.
And the main event
Wala pa naman.
will feature,
pwede ko ba tignan to?
Still lang, sir.
let me just double check that.
Nadalawa.
Yes, the main event will feature a 4 million guaranteed prize pool. The buy-in is 6,500. The Philippine Poker Tour will happen from April 23 to April 28. And also,
Mado sa king jack eh. Sabi ko, pre, kulim mo na. Ito na yun.
the 1 million free roll. Baka po hindi nyo nababalitaan. We have a Metro Card Club as a 1 million free roll
Third River Club yun eh.
that in order to qualify, players must secure
Bili ko na to sa
300 points.
masyado eh.
How to earn those points? By playing cash games at the Metro Card Club and entering. This started in January. And now, since they are nearing the cutoff, starting today, in an attempt or to give way to their demands for more players to be able to join that 1 million free roll, if you play at the Metro Card Club, any cash games at the Metro Card Club, starting today, you will get double points for all the hours you played. So parang happy hour, naka times 2 ang mga points. So those who are still below the required number of points, this is your chance to qualify for the 1 million free roll happening from April 14 to April 15. The earning coverage was from January to March 31. So hanggang March 31 ang cut-off. Starting today, double points if you play any cash games at the Metro Card Club. So ayan ha, para doon sa mga nag-ooras at naghahabol ng points. Andy Abundo, all in with 56,000. Jinso Park makes the call with Jack 7 suited. Abundo's tournament life is on the line.
Check 7.
Flop, 3 sevens. Sorry about that. It wasn't an all-in. I'm sorry. Marami pa palang chips si Andy. It was just a raised. Jinso Park flopping quads. Oh my God. How can Andy Abundo escape from this hand? Andy Abundo flopping full house. Jinso Park
60.
with quads.
12, 7.
Andy Abundo with a bet of 60,000. Jinso smoothly flat.
Check 7. Check 10.
Both players checking the turn. The question is if Jinso Park polarize the bet here by going all in, can Andy Abundo make the fold?
7. Call 10.
Wow! That's exactly what Jinso Park did. He jams on the river. Andy Abundo snap calls it. How can he not?
25. O 135.
That's why I said it's a hard board to get away from for Andy Abundo.
130.
Christian Fernando, tanungin mo niyan si Boss Joben, baka makompute nila. 300 hours, how many days? Let's try and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. 8 days. Alright, then ang biggest multiplier,
Kanina pa yan. Why ah? 6.
ang biggest multiplier if you play
Ako na rin sa forest. Tagong-tago.
1,002, 100, 200, 200, 400, let's say 100, 200, 3 points. 3 points. So 300,
Thank you, sir.
so 3 points. 8 hours. Let's say 8 hours ka maglaro. 8 times 3, 24. 24 times ilang araw na lang remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 8. 192. Kulang pa din. Kulang pa din. All right, we're going to our first break of the final table. 10 minutes. There's the counter. We'll be right back
Wait lang.
after the break.
Color up na lang. Ito po. Ano? Oh, G. Oo, meron po. Boss, ito pa.
No need to apologize. Nice hand, nice hand.
Dice PS.
Ay, nice.
Binigyan mo yan namin yan eh.
All right, we're back after that 10-minute break. Down to 8 players, 1 casualty, and that was Carlos Mariano. Out at 9th place. John Nico Isip remains to be the chip leader. And this is the second in chips. That's James Cruz.
Hold one.
Stanley Harata. King Jack off. Early position.
Hold. Hold three.
Dolph Ramo with suited connectors. He's got 665 in chips.
Sixty. 64. 60. 60. 100. 65.
That's 200.
Ay, sorry, 200. 200. Hold 6. 200.
Pahig sa 100.
7.
Hindi ka.
Hold 10.
Morphe with a 3-bet to 200,000. Action back on Dolph Ramo. I don't think he will continue, and there's the lay down.
Dice PS.
Kasi kung walang hit, iba yung bet ko.
This is hand number 24 of this final table. Stanley with pocket jacks. He's under the gun.
Hold.
200 pa yun.
Stanley Arata open jams
Hold 4. Hold 5.
with pocket jacks.
Hold 6.
Jinso Park asking for a count. Alex Taneo. Magandang gabi sa iyo. Good evening. And it's railing for Rodolph Ramo.
225 total.
225?
25.
If Jinso Park calls with this, it's gonna be a very loose call from the South Korean, and there it is. A cold call with King 10 suited. Made by the South Korean down to Andy Abundo.
Hold 10.
He folds. And the big blind, James Cruz. I don't think he's gonna play that 9-5 off.
Hold 2.
And we have Stanley Harata. Tournament live is on the line, but very much ahead with Pocket Jacks.
Sa Facebook.
Only one overcard for the South Korean.
There you go.
Top set on the flop, and there's a possible back door. If this is a clubs, we're still gonna have a
Congratulations.
sweat. Oh, it's official. South Korean drawing dead. Park Jinso and Stanley Arata with a big double up. He goes up to 520,000.
Grabe. Bakit Jack? Alam mo kung sa akin, ang kumul sa akin, ace 5 lang yung bara. Rivet.
Yan eh. Gene Juice. Gene. Jeffrey something Gene. Yung pangalan na tumatawag. Facebook Messenger. iPhone eh. Ay, saan? Yung tinulak niya.
Max Payne yun eh, Max Payne.
Lines?
Mahilig na siya sa suited hand. Eh, yeah, your favorite ha? Suited hand ha? Always suited hand ha?
Again.
Yung
No, but earlier, every time that you won, you had suited hands.
Tamba,
Earlier.
tamba, tamba.
Oo, 295.
Uy, galaw. Galaw, pangit talaga paraan, no?
Kasi naalala ko lang yung cash game ko, sabi ko dito ako nang-ubos eh.
Sa pangit.
Kapipitsa ako. Pagsakan sa turn, sa river, alas eh.
Still, what's secured ka na sa flop?
Sabi ko gusto ko yung red card eh.
Pala eh. Nakaka-adjust pala dyan eh.
So, dahil sa akin, gumanda laro mo. Ako yung nag-request eh.
Jay Fungo. Shout out to Kristen Joy Fungo.
Sorry, fold 4. I-raise pa, ano, papasok na lang ako. Fold 7.
Hindi niya abot. Hindi niya abot eh.
Papadama lang.
50-5-0.
Papadama lang yan.
Fold 7.
Nico Isip racing from hijack with King High. James Cruz 5-8 off, and is gonna be faced with probably a re-raise coming from Stanley with pocket tens. Let's see how Stanley plays this. He's out of position, so he needs to offset that disadvantage with a 3-bet here. And he did just that. He re-raised
150. 150. Fold 6.
to 150, and Nico Isip with a quick fold.
Dalawang 10.
Short stock kanina yun ah.
Dadatingan na sila.
Jack na naman, may Jack na naman, no? King Jack kanina, ngayon, Jacks.
Nakatalisod ng packet eh.
20 behind. 220 behind. That's 220.
10 seconds.
James Cruz with ace king, spacing action from Ronald Morphy, who raised it to 70,000, and Jinso Park, who flatted.
210.
And James Cruz will 3-bet to 210. Stanley Harata with 10-6 off.
Hold time.
Under the 10?
210.
210 total.
Ori, ori.
All in. All in 7.
And the ever adventurous Jinso Park goes all in with Queen Jack suited. James Cruz makes the call.
Mag-hit
Live cards for the South Korean player.
ace 4.
His tournament life is on the line here.
GTO hand eh. 4. Uy, ace 4 clubs ako.
10 high,
Kumanda yung hand niya.
still ahead.
Bit low, boys.
Oh, 9 on the turn. Gives the South Korean the gut shot.
What did I do?
And a big double up for Jinso Park. He jumps to 700,000. James Cruz
Puro suited hand.
gets hit big. And he's down to a little over half a million.
290. 290.
Actually, nung nag-call siya, when he called 70, gumunan ako bigla eh.
35.
Well, I didn't like that you called with 70. Kayo na pa yan, pre. Sabi ko sa'yo. Dapat kayo, di ba? Dapat kayo na pa final table.
Stings.
Ano yan eh, pag ganun pre yan, papass break ulit yan.
Oh. Ano nangyari nga? Nangyari nga, ganito nga. Nangyari ganito. Eh, kanina mga, start siya na 33. Naging 80. 30 na naman. It's 80. Ganun siya kanina. So, all in siya with suited hands and whatever. Palagi nga ganun. Klase. Lagi siyang, palaging behind. You ah? What did I tell you?
Pinapos na sa turn eh, no?
So,
Dapat sa river man.
nuts na nuts eh, no? May, layers. May pop-up. Hirap. Minsan kalaban mo swerte. Yung hindi na
Wala talaga. Dalawa eh.
Buti na out ako. Kutsa yung flop, dalawang clubs.
Pwede nang
Buti na pa-fold mo ako.
5.
Out ako dapat. Sige, ano lang. Pilay ako. 200 matitira sa akin. Ay, hindi. Out ako. Ang out ako sa'yo. Sorry.
10 raise 60. 60. 1 4.
Ay, wala eh. Gusto naman niya yung call, di ba? Gusto niya yung call eh. Pero kasi kanina nung nag-call pa lang siya sa 70 ko, bad feeling na talaga ako. Okay. Nakapulchan eh.
60. Call.
go time na yun.
7.
Kailangan isa lang sa inyo.
Heads up.
So, kayo na pa dapat tanggal yan eh.
Sabi niya pre, tayo na yung mga Pilipino Ako lagi target mo.
All right, heads up action between Jinso Park and Andy Abundo. Jinso flopping top pair.
Wow. Dalawa na yung flash.
He checks, setting the trap, but Andy Abundo wisely checks behind. He's gonna fire on the river
Bet 50, fold 10.
Hello.
and shows his jack
What? Ace jack. Oh.
to Andy.
Nice. Dominated.
Lines PS.
Kaya ako sa to.
Pwede sin talaga. Hindi kayang talunin ng...
Oo. Parang bound to lose talaga.
Kaya siya, check raise pa.
Ang hirap. Ngayon, kaya ko iniisip yan. Ang hirap kalabanin yun.
Bound to lose ka talaga.
Oo.
Lalabas tao, dalawang tao na ako, yung iba pa ang lumabas.
So strong, ha? Nice.
Percent ka nang magkaroon ng tao. 33 pa ilalabas.
Jack pa rin doon. Sir, hawakan mo
Queen
kaya.
ka,
King Queen. Sir, hawakan mo kaya. Hawakan mo.
may jack pa ako eh.
Ihipuan ko na nga.
Max value na yun. Max value yun.
Six, fold.
Ayun na yan, may gamit na eh.
7, call.
Suited 10 check for Mr. Park. He just flats from early position.
Two raise, 125. Oh, 4 and 5.
125k.
125.
Hanley with pocket queens. He raised it to 125. Chinso Park was proving to be with a very wide calling range. Makes the call.
Heads up.
Parang logic is out of the,
Check,
ano?
7.
It's no longer a deterrent, pre.
8 high is the flop.
Seven, check. All in 2.
Chinso checks and Stanley, not wanting any overcard, takes it down on the flop by going all in.
Or a deterrent.
Chinso instantly folding. There's the chip count. Nico Isip maintains chip leadership while the rest is trying to catch up to him.
Yung jacks. Tapos queens. Kings naman.
Kanina sa 10.
Tens.
Tayo na, yung tatamaan na ako ng runner-runner.
Ano ba? Kanina bara ako ace 4 clubs, so hand ko ngayon yung previous ace 3 clubs. Coincidence, oh. Check it.
Seven, fold. 10, fold. One, fold.
Ayoko na. Stable ba to? Ito pa rin, ito pa rin.
3, all in.
Galaw.
Jay Padilla goes all in with ace jack off. Dolph Ramo with queen 10 suited. Ace queen for Nico Isip is gonna make the call. Unfortunately for Jay Padilla, his tournament life is on the line, and he's holding a dominated hand, ace jack off
Titingin kayo, no?
versus the ace queen of the chip leader.
Para may advantage, di ba? Kasama sa ritual yun eh. Tayo.
Sabi nun si Poker Gods eh.
Oh, 5.
Some chop outs for Jay. He wins with the jack. He chops with a 5. Almost got in. Now there are more chop outs for him. It's gonna be a chop as the river landed a 5. Lucky break for Jay Padilla. He lives to fight on.
lang ang natalo. Big blind na lang natalo. Natalo yung ano niya, yung ante, pati yung small blind. Pag-ati.
Yun lang para ako. Tapos, may ayos pa.
May umislap pa.
Swerte siya, hindi nag-jack yung river.
Swerte pa tayo. Swerte siya. Pag-jack na yung kapatid.
Okay ka na, okay ka na. Tanggapin mo na yan.
Swerte niya. Pag-jack na nga yun. Sais. Sais yun.
Pakabuenas. Let me change ha.
Tumatagilid pa.
Pakabuenas.
Old 10. One race, 55. Fold 2, 3 fold. 4 fold. 5 fold.
Nakikita na naman yung hand history ko, di ba?
6 fold.
Inang hand history to.
7 fold.
55.
Heads up. Check 7. 1 bet 50.
James Cruz betting 50,000 on a paired flop.
Fold 7.
And Chinsu Park will let go of his hand. 90,000 more chips going to James Cruz.
Defend pala yun. Ang ginawa niya, defend pala yun.
50 na lang.
Kap, how much behind? 100. 150? Okay.
150 plus this.
Alright.
Ano? 140.
Plus the big blind. 160 pa.
One. Raise 55. 2 fold, 3 fold. 4 fold. 5 fold. Six fold.
ETC.
7 fold.
ETC.
95%.
All in 10.
Pag nakita mo yung hand na nagamit dun sa... Ano ba yan? 55?
165 siya before the hand. Si Jack. 165 tinulak mo na ka?
110 more.
110 to call. 110 pa.
All right, we see Andy Abundo going all in with king queen off. At the big blind, action now on James.
All in, sikuan.
And James will also go all in. Now, Jinsu Park, who called the race of James earlier, now trapped within the two players. He's to act now. I don't think he's gonna gamble, but we've been surprised with this decision making. So let's see. All right, look them up, and he probably will let this go. Yes, he folded, showing ace eight suited.
1 overcard. Ace, no.
King.
Only ace win. Scoop.
All right, so Andy Abundo puts his tournament life on the line with king queen off. He's got 2 overcards against James Cruz's pocket tens. Flop is 9 high, no help for Andy Abundo. Unfortunately, his 6 outer is down to 3 as 3 players folded a king and 2 queens.
6 outs.
1 card to go
Oh,
Clear
call.
out.
Ang galing niya. Wala pa siya sa ano.
and nothing. So Andy Abundo goes out at 8th place.
Hindi ito may win.
Galing ano. Laki night yan talaga ngayon.
Favorite hand.
And he's gonna get 8,250.
Pero kung siya may king queen doon, matatamaan niya yung queen. Di ba?
Tama alas nun. River.
Alam mo? Sabay ko po.
At least deserve nga kung tinamaan yung 400.
Wala na, hindi ko
Bawal
nakatamaan.
lang yun.
Kita mo, pag siya kalaban ko, hindi ko na pinapakita. Balata mo na lang balata. Kasi ikaw lang eh. Kasi big na player eh.
Bigay na ako. Wow. Mga
Ganda ng isolation.
Eh, kahit ko yung talo.
Ganda ng timing ng isolation.
We're down to 7 players.
Ganda ng timing ng isolation.
Hindi, mahirap talaga siyang kalaban.
Totoo nga. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, pag yan nakapasok sa flop. Yo! Kamusta? Tapos, galing kang mega stack?
Fold, 2, 3, 4.
Pang, pasok kayo sa D2. Pasok.
Yan ang kalaban niya pag siya eh. Kita mo, di ba? Binubuhumba ko pag siya kalaban ko.
Kayo na pa yun. Kayo, sir, ang dami ng aming mga ano yan, showdowns at kanina, mga heads up. May all in na calls kanina. Ahit ako. Too many outs ako.
Hindi siya pwede yung baby baby.
6 raise.
Alisin mo talaga.
Pararating mo sa
Nico Isip
7 fold.
racing with queen 8 early position. James Cruz with ace jack.
Dapat kayo na pa yun. Dapat kayo na pa yung final table eh. Ang nangyayari.
Tsaka kanina, ubus na sa kanya.
Oo.
We're at the bubble for the additional seats to be given.
Kaya nga nangyayari ka sa kanya kanina 30.
6 players will get main event seats to the upcoming Philippine Poker Tour.
Suited hand.
That's gonna happen on April. That's a 4 million guaranteed Metro Major
1
tournament.
raise, 140.
Ah, may ticketing yun eh, no?
James Cruz, 3 bets to 140,000. Back to Nico Isip,
Hindi pa. Pasok pa.
who will call to see the flop.
Yung ano, PPT. Main event. Yung 6-5 ang buy. April. 6 seats. Main event. Eh,
2 pairs for the chip leader. Action first on James Cruz.
1 bet, 70.
What? Good. You have good.
And he's gonna bet 70,000 on the flop. Let's see if Nico will opt to trap here.
Kaibigan kami.
Yes, he does. Just a flat for Nico Isip. No cause for worry. He flopped top 2. And now the 8 on the turn gives him the full house. He has to take a second look to make sure his memory does not deceive him. Checks the turn. James giving up on the hand. But Nico can, with the right sizing, Nico might just induce a hero call of ace high. Tingnan natin, 150 bet for Nico. Might just work as James is reaching out for chips. He's only got ace high. He beats a failed flush draw on the flop if he puts Nico Isip on that hand.
Ano? Call? Call. One call.
And there's the call by James Cruz. Nico Isip with the right size to extract value for his full house. Very good bet sizing for the chip leader, managing to squeeze value and gets called by ace high.
Yung seat 6, napunta sa seat 7.
Tapos,
Oo, tapos yung 7, napunta sa 9.
Bumove ako dito.
hindi sir, okay lang. Okay lang dyan.
Basta yung katawan ko lang mag-move, hindi yung scanner.
Pwede rin sir, kung mas komportable ka, sasabihin natin.
Ano ka bro?
Sa 9
Pagdadasal ko to.
napunta.
Isay.
Okay na.
Get? Okay na?
Pagdadasal
Ano
kita.
eh?
Sabay ka ako sa turn.
Yung
Tama
seat
naman.
6, niminove sa 7. Tapos yung player sa 7, niminove sa 9.
Ano ka lang.
Nung
Kaya ako binalikan eh.
nilagay ko
Parang
na eh.
Kung lalagay doon, sa
Stealing,
ganung board.
di ba?
Okay na.
Oo.
Blind small, big, blinds up down.
Kaya
15,
napakawal na ako
30,
dun
big.
sa... Kaso Queen 8 eh.
Althea Castillo from our YouTube live chat is asking kung may poker club ba sa Tacloban City. From from my knowledge, parang wala.
Sandali, continue kayo.
Wala po. Walang poker club. Walang PAGCOR licensed poker club sa Tacloban City.
Ma'am Zen, stop daw muna yung clock.
Pandoy, alalay ng Panday. Shout out Roman Ramos at Jonathan Valmonte.
Hindi.
Yung leader.
Wala nang tao eh.
Pakawal ako sa A-side.
Lagyan mo lagi sa bluff.
Hindi. Love naman talaga yun eh. Queen 8, lumabas lang. Nakita binalikan sa pre-flop. Kahit mismo, 150 mo pa rin. Check.
Inaayos pa nila yung ano.
RFID.
Tama ba? Yung mismo yung board na yun, 150 pa rin. Or babeta mo yung river. Wala eh. Nandun yung full house.
Ganda ng ano, tago mo.
Ganda rin ang repop niya. Straight lang.
Sabi
Big
ko
na ako.
Oh, chinik sa turn? Full house
Magkano
na to.
fold mo doon? 200?
Minimum pa basa ko sa'yo, once ka eh.
Very rare gumalaw, pero hit eh, no? Pasok.
Di alam ko yung ano, i-steal niya yung lights eh. Ace tsaka ko, pwede kong balikan.
Oo, tama.
Diba?
Napalapak ko lang.
Okay na. Wait lang. Okay na. Seat 3 all in. 4 fold. 5 fold.
Jay Padilla goes all in with ace 10 off under the gun.
Kaya nga pinapagod eh. Pero hindi, gusto ko andyan siya.
Isang tao. Paano yan?
135. I don't know. 140. 240, sorry.
240.
Ala ko, wala. Dami pa pala.
Now down to James Cruz at the small blind with ace 9 suited. Boss Vic Peña saying kamesa daw niya si Miko kanina at magaling daw na player. Jeffrey Balababa, shout out to Bon Yap and Hapon.
1-4.
Hirit pa isa.
Buti wala siya. Magsusuicide yun eh.
No calls were made, so Jay Padilla takes down
Kahit ba is
an uncontested pot.
Karano rito eh.
We're still down to 7 players.
kukul tayo ng Jack 10 eh.
Pagkakataon ko na.
Pagkataon mo na.
Ice queen. Wala ano ba? Isay suited. Pinay ko.
Ace win ka.
Now or never.
Makikita mo naman eh.
Tsaka kasi isang card ko eh. King kong na isang card ko eh. Sama mo pala isa.
Hindi, meron
Blind,
ka.
small blind, sir.
Yeah, try out.
Ani, just I thought.
Yan, laki. Mga 150. Mga 150.
Ace 8 ka?
Ace 9.
Behind.
Uy,
Oy.
Ang kadigil.
Miss din.
Wait. Wait lang, kuya.
Wala pa namang action eh.
Oo. Miss Dean.
silipin ko ba to?
All right, it's a missed deal because 3 cards were handed out to Nico Isip.
Libre lang yun. That's the third time. Final game.
Shout out and happy watching
Makapit
to Ferlin Cabaling, one of our top lady poker player in the country.
plan nyo ba to?
Shout out sa'yo, Ate Ferlin Cabaling. Happy watching.
Pasma.
Oh, 500. Take it out.
Try out na. Makikita mo naman.
Amo na. Pinood ko na eh.
Hand number 34 of our final table.
Hit na matitira eh. Mga 100 plus na.
Kala ko pa naman yung miss din, magbabago yung hand ko.
Four
Talaga pa rin.
5 fold.
Talaga?
7 fold. 9 fold.
Ace Queen for James Cruz.
All in. 1.
Open jams with 510,000.
2 fold.
Stanley Herrera folding. King Jack for Jay Padilla.
Tapakan lang kung matatapakan.
But he has
Doon nung ikaw na ano eh.
to put in all of his chips to engage James Cruz as a open jam. And he will not risk it.
Nung na-miss deal, 2-8
Ano
ako.
sa'yo eh.
Nung bagong hand, 2-10.
Tawa ko kaya lang.
May queen ka.
King King Jack.
Live.
Oo, pero all. Kung race ka.
Ace queen ako.
Dalawang jack.
Nakasar ako.
Hindi pa dalawang alas na.
Nung nag-miss deal, at least nag-improve yung hanap ko sa akin. Binigay sa akin ng una 2-8.
Sa atin dalawa.
Bigay sa akin pangalawa 2-10.
Alas, may out siya. Ganda na pagkakamis na.
5 fold.
Oo, 6-9 yung huli. May business.
Dapat pala hindi mislead. Baka chapter
Aces for James Cruz. Cruz enjoying a flurry of good hands.
One race 75.
Raising it to 75,000.
Oh!
Two,
Oh my
four,
goodness!
three,
What
four,
happened? Ramshaw stop.
This one.
No caller,
Left, right.
unfortunately,
Oh, right.
for Cruz.
Yes,
Right.
Pew pew. Nice
Left
nice
and right ka pala eh.
Meron ka pang 75 ha?
Bilis lang.
125 ha? Sama kami? Dangerous.
Inang hand history ko.
Ha?
Sige, sorry. Kaya yung hand history ko. Pangit.
Di ba? Ito yung pangit dyan. Anong play-play?
Play, no?
Pag si...
Lagay mo sa gitna yan.
Oo, lagyan na lahat yun sa gitna. Magkana-kanana tayo sa gitna. Mahirapan pa ano.
Nice!
Birthday.
This is hand 36.
burn card, 8,
7 players remaining. 300 entries for this weekend special. 400,000 guaranteed. Prize pool reaching 450.
6,
You're watching it from the Metro Card Club, home of Philippine Poker Champions. Very easy to find. Inside the Metro Walk complex, you can actually search in Waze
1 fold.
if you plan on visiting the oldest and used to be the biggest live poker rooms in all of Asia.
2 fold, 3 fold.
If you look up a Philippine champion, a local or hometown bred, definitely you'd see at one point of his poker career, he grinded at the Metro Card Club. This is the home of Philippine poker champions.
Mag-check in the third ako.
Nico Isip
Oo nga, gagawin.
Wala.
taking down that pot.
Sa akin binibigay, wala na akong time bank kasi.
So, ibig sabihin, wala nang time bank to kasi 4 hours, 47 minutes yung next break. Wala nang additional time bank.
4 hours yung nagad na eh. no?
Deck ko yung deck. Nasa pula ulit.
Wala na.
Wala na yung ano.
0-0 na.
Ako naman, ako naman.
Sige, sige.
Ako naman. Nilampasan yung dalawa.
Ticket pala yun. Yung,
6 seats.
Main yun lahat. Anim.
Main event. Yung 6-5 yung buy-in.
6-5. Ang gano'n yung ano, 5 million eh. Ay,
Ah, 4M yan.
kailan yun?
Last week ng April yan. Last week ng April. Kasi ano yun eh. Third week April. Third weekend.
Sa bigay pa yata ako. Alis kasi na
Yun yung scheduled satellite ng MSE, ng summer event. April 19 to 21. So,
All right, action continues after a switch of dealer. Jinsu Park, player from South Korean, with a hand that he doubled up with earlier, Jack Queen. And is gonna limp in under the gun, pocket jacks for James Cruz. All right. James Cruz with a 3-bet 180. Dolph Ramo to act now. He's gonna fold.
Call take with yung pag pumasok. Wala siyang call take with yung pag may bit magic dito.
Nico Isip waking up with the Cowboys. He goes all in. Wow, sobra namang overplay ni Nico. Sayang. But might just work. James with a big hand. Let's see if he can lay down. Parang hindi na. Parang... Let's see if James Cruz has it in him to lay down. Pero sa action na to, parang pwedeng ace-king eh. Pwedeng ace-king. Yung itinalon ni James, ni Nico Isip. Can James Cruz do a very tough thing to do? Lay down a big pocket pre-flop.
Ayan. Spot na to.
Wow!
Flop.
Yun yung sayang sa ginawa ni Nico. Ang laki ng barahan niya. He 3-bet jam. He could easily just 3-bet and 100%
150.
James Cruz would have 4-bet jam on that hand.
Ito minimum raise mo.
Wow.
So, yung kokol ko ganito.
Kasi binet na niya yung 1/3 ng stack.
Wrong time to overplay for the chip leader.
Papanood ko yun.
Oo nga eh.
Sorry mga guys. Fish. Seryoso ba? Ayoko nandun yung ayoko nung mura yung, mura lang.
Sayang yung ginawa ni Nico Isip. He could have probably... Well, we have yet to see the board. So anyway, baka blessing in disguise din. Baka
Yung time bank talaga eh.
may jack sa flop or, the run out would favor James. So, it is what it is. And we move on.
Sit 4, fold.
325.
Sit 5, all in. Sit 7, fold.
How much? 325.
Tinsto Park with pocket sevens. He has called all in, or he has went all in with lesser hand. He's facing an all in from Ronald Morfe.
I just don't wanna see a flop with you. I don't wanna see a flop.
Sit
Kaya
9,
call na siya.
call.
Nanakaw lang ako.
Jinso Park makes the call. And Ronald Morve puts his tournament live on the line.
Lalabas yung 10. Wala sa akin.
Hindi kasi kayo na pa ako, pakit ang hands. Parang ako, nagtitilt ako.
Lalabas yung
One overcard for Morve.
7 of clubs, ganun. Na-blind out ako eh.
Four high is the flop. No help.
6 of clubs would be best. 2 of clubs or 6 of clubs.
King on the turn. One card to go.
Tilt mo ko. Ano ko eh?
Queen on the river. End of the line for Ronald Morphe, who also bubbled.
Ang dami pakit ang hands.
the seat for the main event of the upcoming Philippine Poker Tour. Morphe goes out at 7th place and gets 12,750. And all of the 6 players will be given a bonus main event seat worth 6,500 for the upcoming 4 million guaranteed Philippine Poker Tour.
Kahit nga A7 o
Darwin Dilao, hindi ko gets yung tanong mo. Wala live sa kuya po. Ha?
Patanggal daw po.
Alin yung walang live? Hindi ko. Darwin ha, hindi ko alam yung anong mo. Pakilinaw. So we're down to 6 players.
Palag pa to.
Meron. Sabay lagi yan. Sabay lagi. YouTube, live sa YouTube. YouTube channel ng Metro Card Club at live dito sa Facebook. Actually, meron pang live to sa YouTube account ko na Sergeant Santori.
Ako ulit po, save mo yun.
Balik 7 gold.
Ulit po, save mo yun. Galing tayo. Last din, last.
Not feeling yun ah.
Sorry. Nagyata sana yan. Number 1.
Big blind.
Pagkita ko pag silip or
Seat 3 folds. Seat 4 fold. Seat 7, raise 60.
libre 60 sana yung ano.
Hans Laurel, walang pay jump 7th and 6th. That's because the 6th place gets the same amount but also gets a main event seat worth 6,500 to the upcoming Philippine Poker Tour. While the 7th place gets the same amount but no bonus main event seat. That's the reason why 7th and 6th gets the same amount of cash. The difference, a main event seat to the upcoming Philippine Poker Tour. Shiwei Pot, Stanley Hirata, Nico Isip, and Jinso Park. Allison Burgers, kailan ng 4M? It's gonna be on April 21 to 28. Flop is queen high. Nobody hits the flop. But Nico Isip, with a flush draw, bets 40,000. He might just take it down here. As Stanley
Seat 2 fold.
gives up his hand. So Nico Isip takes down that pot.
Seat 9, dead. Dead na. Seat 4, fold.
Nico Isip, after being
C7, raise 60.
dormant for several hours, now has a flurry of premium hands. He raised with pocket jacks from the hijack position.
C1, fold. C2, fold. C3, fold.
And no callers.
Tissue.
Sit 9, dead hand.
King 8 suited for Isip.
Sit 7, raise 60.
Raise.
Dito na lang.
180.
11 o'clock ako.
Sit 1, raise 180.
11 o'clock ako.
Sit 2, fold. Sit 3, fold. Sit 4, fold.
All right, back to Nico Isip with a 3-bet coming from James Cruz. Earlier, Nico called a 3-bet with Queen 8 suited clubs and hit the full house on the turn. Now he's gonna do almost the same. Calling a 3-bet with suited hands. 1 over card. This time,
Sit 7,
got a different result. Jack high. That's gonna give James Cruz the confidence to fire.
1, all in.
And he doesn't want to take any chances.
Sit 7, fold.
Overplayed the bet and just went all in.
Nabalik na. Jacks.
Weba.
Hindi, hindi jacks.
He doesn't want to trap, make Nico pay him more.
Tingnan ko na lang sa likod.
Kahit no.
Big blind.
Minsan yun ang problema. You pay your opponent a lot, and when it's time, when you have the opportunity to make him pay, you overplay your hand and gets the minimum.
Call.
Anak na ako ng Diyos nun pag tumama pa rin ako sa flop.
Wala na ako.
Sit 1, fold. Sit 2, fold. Sit 3, all in.
Dave Padilla goes all in with ace high, folded to him at the button. Dolph Ramo,
Sit 4, fold.
nothing. Nico Isip with King Jack. One thing Jay has to remember,
Sit 7, call.
and it's a call for Nico. Jinsu Park might also string along.
165.
So Jay Padilla puts his tournament life on the line with ace 4 off and gets a call from Nico. Isip, the chip leader.
Antay ka.
And Jinsu Park gets away.
Barok akin yan.
저건 퀸제.
Queen Jack.
퀸.
King Queen.
Jay Padilla ahead here with ace high, but he
퀸.
has to fade
퀸제.
a king or a jack. Ace on the flop gives Jay Padilla a commanding advantage. But jack on the turn gives Nico a chance. A king or a jack can win this for him. A 3 on the river, and Jay Padilla doubles up. He now has 375 in chips.
Benza 2040. Sit one fold. Sit two fold. Sit three fold. Sit four fold. Sit seven all in.
Nico Isip
Sit nine fold.
goes all in with king jack off. Against the big blind by the South Korean, who did not defend. All right, we're down again to 6 players. The champion will get a cash prize of 102,000.
Sit three fold. Sit four fold. Sit seven all in. Sit nine fold. Sit one fold.
Gising na yung chief leader. Gising na yung chief leader. Kanina natutulog, ginigising kasi.
Mapalaman ako.
Nahimik kasi rin na eh.
Oo, ginigising eh, no?
Pinalipat eh. Tulog na yan kanina eh.
Small bench.
Hindi.
Sit three fold. Sit four fold. Sit seven raise 80. Sit nine fold.
Another raise from Nico Isip, taking advantage of the table's deference to him. James with Queen 10 suited.
Sit one fold.
Wow, and he folded.
Fold. Sit
Stanley will look him up,
heads up.
holding a dominated hand. Worst scenario is Stanley flops the 8.
Seat 2
Top
check.
pair for Nico Isip.
Seat 7 raise bet 40.
Nothing to proceed for Stanley unless he decides to turn his hand into a bluff. No draw.
Seat 2 call.
Wow, and Stanley will peel off another
Seat 2 check. Seat 7 check.
street, and the ace on the turn completes a possible flush. River is a blank for Stanley. Let's see if he decides to try and take this down.
Check.
Oh, nothing. All right. Check. Nico checks behind and takes down the pot. Risky move by Stanley. He paid to peel off another street. It's a good thing he didn't hit anything. He probably put Nico on a premium hand. So the question is, had he hit the 8 or the 9 on the turn, would have been costly for him. As I'm sure he will pay off whatever Nico puts out in the middle. All right, hand number 47. We're down to 6 players.
Seat 7 raise 80.
Suited hand again for Nico Isip. And he raced with it.
Seat 1
He's trying to feed off the momentum that he has.
Seat 2 fold. Seat 3 fold.
And it's been very effective for him.
Seat 7 raise 80. Seat 9 fold. Seat 1 fold. Seat 2 fold. Seat 3 fold. Seat 4 fold.
RC 450 is received to development.
Seat 9 fold. Seat 1 fold.
Stanley Arata from the cut off, facing a limp under the gun by the South Korean player Jinso Park looks at the best starting hand. In No Limit Hold'em, the aces.
Seat 2, raise 120. Seat 3, fold. Seat 4, fold. Seat 7, fold. Seat 9, fold. Heads up.
Jinso will call the 120,000 raise of Stanley. Too bad for Stanley. Jinso doesn't have anything to continue with.
Seat 2, all in.
Would have been different if he hit any of his hand. But Stanley short stack. He goes all in 285.
Seat 9, fold. Ayos ah. Nag-aantay ng ano. Kala mo papalitan.
Tama na isang pair dun sa board eh. Full na yun, no? Oo nga, yun nga. Tama na isang board.
Kamot ka doon.
One fold. Waiting for seat 2. Fold 2. 3 fold. 4 fold. All in. 7 all. 9 fold.
Wow, Nico Isip really turning up the aggression. Jams all in with 4 deuce off against a player who probably has the widest calling range in the stable, Jinso Park.
Dali nasa 10 na.
Tapo na. Ay, hindi. Hindi pa nilagay sa alas eh. Wala ka rin. Pili na. Bakol. Kala ko mag-lift ka rin. Feel ko. Baka di naman. Kaso may
Waiting for seat 2. 2, 3 fold.
Valpramo with ace 4 off is down to 295,000.
90. 4 raised to 90. Seven, 9 fold. Call. Heads up. Check. One check. Bet 40. 4 bet.
The Framo firing his continuation bet.
One fold.
Unblockable.
Blinds ante.
Okay, go. Jump ako. Ay, 10 per.
Waiting for seat 3. 3 all in. Four, four,
Jay Padilla goes all in with King Jack off.
7, 8, 9, fold.
James Cruz with pocket nines. He might just call with this.
All in.
1 all in. Fold.
There's the call by James. Jay Padilla is risking his tournament life. He's got 2 overcards, a king and a jack, against the pocket nines of James Cruz.
Okay na?
Top pair for Jay outflopping the pocket nines.
Turn card.
Turn is a 9 of clubs. And James and Jay Padilla. Oh, wow! Jay Padilla rivered a gut shot, a 10 on the river. He was already standing up, bidding goodbye to the table when the 10 on the river completes a 1-card straight for Jay Padilla. And suddenly James Cruz is down to 5 bigs.
Circle eh, no?
Wow.
305 all in.
305.
Jump tayo, pre. King Jack ka rin? Hindi ka King Jack.
Hindi, Jack 10.
Ah.
Kala ko doon.
Mali ko ba sa card mo mga ace king? Grabe naman yun. Kala mo ligtas ka na.
Four, 7, 9, fold. One fold.
ng set, binigyan ng straight.
Grabe yung buhay.
May kapira na sila.
Na-flop ko na rin ang
Hindi ko nakita eh.
lahat.
Sa bagay, oo.
Na-flop ko na rin.
Baliktaran nga sila eh. Sisira sa inyo yung percentage eh, no? Percentage sa TV.
Kung ano, ma-check na yun. Ang bilis na.
Ace Jack suited
Ilang percent?
for Nico Isip, standing the chip leader, the overwhelming chip leader with 2.2 million.
Nine call. 80. All in. One all in.
James Cruz goes all in, facing a raise from Nico Isip. Unfortunately for him, his ace 10 is dominated by the ace jack of Nico. But between them, Jinso Park is holding pocket sevens.
Almost
190. 190. Seven all in.
Nico Isip isolates, goes all in. And Jinso Park, like I said, he's got a very wide calling range. He is ahead though with pocket sevens.
Oh, favorite.
And with the table down to six-handed,
Tatakpan. Diba?
Favorite niya yan eh.
Lapin ko sa ano, 120. Tira niyo 120.
Hindi na, ganun na rin.
that pocket sevens is looking good.
Talaga yung tadhana.
Nung nakita ko yung ace, sabi ko, uli na ako. Kaso ng 80-80, walang full equity.
Sa one yung
Yung G's, pwede na. Pwede na rin yun. Pero kung mga lesser, okay.
Queen high is the flop. Pocket sevens looking good. Turn is a jack for Nico Isip. He's gonna bust out two players. Yes, he does. And James Cruz is eliminated at sixth place. Jinso Park is at fifth place. We're suddenly down to four players. As Nico Isip
bibilangan yung chips nito. Yeah, I'll talk to... Hindi na bibilangan yung chips nito.
Opo, 5 blocks. Diba?
Hindi, I mean, hindi i-re-rep. Four players.
suddenly good pay jump for Dolph Ramo and Jay Padilla
Four.
natin kung balance.
and Stanley Arata.
Check daw yung ICM. I-stop ba yung clock muna?
Shallow na rin ang bless. Wala na rin size.
Naman tayo lagi panalo.
Ah,
Ha?
3.7
Kuya? Hindi i-stop.
21 Stanley Harata.
Blinds, ante. 20,000, 40,000, sir. So, yung cellphone na lang po. Nag-start na yung clock. Ay, inalis niya. Nilagay ko. Inalis niya. Kinuha ba? Ah, kinuha daw pala. Five. Ano to, 15 minutes ulit. Ah.
Next, ano na yun? Next level.
So next level.
1 million.
Okay na. Sino ba mag-start niyan? Sila. Okay na. 40. Ay. Two-fold. $120. 3.
All right, we're back after the last four players agreed to an ICM deal with John Nico Isip, the runaway chip leader, assuring himself of the biggest payout. He is assured to get 78,000
7 check.
and some change,
1,
while Stanley Harata gets 45,600.
3. Bet.
Jay Padilla gets 45,100 and Rodolph Ramo gets 38,300. And as the rule of MetroCard Club, the last four players will fight out for the remaining 10% of the total remaining prize pool. So paglalabanan pa nila, they will fight for 23,000 in remaining prizes, cash prize that will go to the eventual champion. So there you have it. A deal has been reached by the last four players. ICM deal awarding John Nico Isip with the biggest share for 78,000.
84C3.
Jimmy Martin from our Facebook live stream is greeting everybody and wishing the final four good luck.
All in. 4 all in.
Dolph Ramo goes all in with King 4 suited at the button.
7-fold.
Down to the big blind Stanley Harata with ace high. They might put out a call here.
Three 45. 345.
Credit best partner by Google is received table seats.
Wow! Stanley Harata folding his ace high, crediting Dolph Ramo with a premium ace. Big laydown, considering they're down to 400. Good break for Rodolfo Ramo.
Lela.
All right, just to update you guys, an ICM deal has been made,
All in.
awarding the biggest payout to John Nico Isip.
2 and 3 fold.
John Nico Isip going all in with the Ducks, no callers from the other three opponents. Big shout out to the happiest man in whole of Poker Dam right now, Pututoy. Follow his exploits. Subscribe to his YouTube and Facebook account, Pututoy.
Lines up, 30,000, 60,000. 15 minutes per level.
Bilis na. Board mo na.
Alam nilang matapang nila.
Matapang natin. Hinahagi na ni Mark.
Nico Isip wants to
Wala pa, 4 pa. Ano pa 24? Nasa 4
finish this early.
Proton, 3.
As he goes on a shoving rampage, daring everybody
Next answer, next answer.
to gamble with him.
Bigay ko na doon.
30-60.
He has 3.3 million.
All in. 3, all in. 2 fold.
Jay Padilla shoves all in. Dolph Ramo, Queen Jack suited for him, might just take the gamble.
Call 7.
And Nico Isip calls with 10-9 off. He wants to finish this early. Open-ended straight draw for him on the flop. That's a 12-outer for him. Turn is a king for Jay Padilla. 14 outs for Nico Isip. River is a 3. So Jay Padilla doubles of Nico Isip. Jay now with 1.4.
670. 670.
Oo nga.
70 na lang. Ay, 20.
Jay Padilla fading a 14 outer to stay alive and goes to second chip lead again. Players are assured already of a payout. They're just fighting for a remaining 15,000. They have reached the ICM deal, an ICM deal awarding most of the cash prize to Nico Isip, the runaway chip leader with 3.3 million in stack.
Tignan natin po.
And with that confidence, Nico is playing loose right now, trying to end this final table, putting everybody maximum pressure. Dolframo with king 4 off.
Or 3 fold. 6 call 7. Apo. Check 2. Jack 7. Bet 16.
Nico. Blind versus blind. Flop stop pair. Leads out with a 60,000 bet.
Nice please. Sabig din ko. Four fold. Raise 120. 7.
Nico Isip racing from the button. King 9 suited for him.
Call. Call din yung 7.
Jay Padilla goes all in with ace 8. Nico makes the call. Jay Padilla is second in chips. This is a 1.4 jam. Flush draw for Nico Isip. 11 outer for him. Turn is a king. Now a 2 outer for Jay Padilla. River is an 8. So Jay Padilla is eliminated at 4th place. Nico Isip up to 4.1 million in stack. He might just bulldoze his way to championship. If he does, I think if my memory serves me right, this is the first trophy for Nico Isip.
One big blind. 4.
Kala ko makakasinat pa siya, no? Babaligtad yun.
Wala, talo na ako. Nakuha niya yun.
First axe.
Babaligtad.
Fold 7.
Ladies for Stanley. Pocket Queens.
All in. 2.
Goes all in. Dolframo with connectors. There's no pay jump being fought. ICM deal was reached. They're just fighting for the remaining 10%, which amounts to 15,000. Queen 10 suited for Stanley. All in for Dolframo. Nico Isip with a snap call. He's got ace high. He is ahead. Ace high, top pair. Looking bleak for Dolframo. Ooh, improved to 11 outer on the turn.
Straight drop last draw.
Missing it on the river. So Dolph Ramo exits at third place. Heads up between Stanley Harata and Nico Isip. Nico Isip with how much does he ask right now? I think nearing to 5 million, 4 point something.
Hindi, big line na siya. Kaya yung small line. Oo. 7 yung bottom. Chip count. Rick! Floor! Chip count. Floor!
Floor manager.
Oo. Chip count.
Malahay mo pre, nakarating ako dito. Tayo na. Hindi naman payag eh. Hindi naman payag.
Edward Dinla, 78,000 and change ang nakuha ni Nico Isip sa ICM.
Oo, bawal ako sa middle. Pauwi na ko yun. Pre, pa-chip count daw, tsaka... Ayan, tama naman yung button ko, diba? Oo. Yung clock daw paki-stop. Pre, narinig mo ako? Pa-stop daw ng clock. Pa-stop ng clock. Hindi ako makasigaw, pre. Sorry, ah. Ay, okay lang. Kasi medyo ano eh. Tayo na maingay yun. Oo. Tama yung button ko, di ba? Yung iniisip ko kasi sino uli ng big line. Ito nga pala. Matipis na sa'yo pag kumagin ko.
Pwede ba? Hindi na pwede. The remaining, hindi na. By Metro Rule, pinaglalabanan na yan. Unless, it's a very big tournament na yung natitirang 10% is sobrang laki, then it gets, hindi siya ICM, but it gets restructured na pinoportion pa rin sa remaining players. Depende sa finish nila. Like for example, sa malalaking tournament, ang 10% umaabot pa ng mahigit 1M. So naglalagay pa sila ng percentage sa makukuha ng, let's say, 4 remaining players. So fourth place gets a percentage, third place gets a percentage. Kumbaga, kinakalibrate nila. But that's only applicable to big tournaments. Pero yung mga ganito na 10,000, 15,000 na lang remaining, hindi na. Pinaglalabanan na yan.
Ito daw yung sa kanila sa loob. 4.3. Double check mo na lang.
Chip Manhattan from our YouTube live stream. Oh, he's still the same James Martin from Pennsylvania. He commented already in our Facebook Live.
4,015,000 lang.
Tapos,
So the recount
Okay na?
is finished.
Clock na lang daw pare. Yung clock daw.
Anong block?
Clock. Sorry friend, hindi ako malakas ang boses ah. Sabihin mo nga. Sabihin mo.
The first hand of our heads-up action. Nico Isip with 4 million in chips versus Stanley Harata
Action.
who has 360,000. Stanley goes all in with Jack 8 suited. Nico with Queen 5. This could be a quick heads up. As Nico is ahead, they're holding the same suit diamonds.
Okay na? Ay, sorry. Sorry na. Perfectionist ka pala.
This could just be
Okay na?
a one-hand heads up. Oh! Nico Isip top pair, but Stanley Harata flopping a straight. So double up for Stanley, who goes up 900,000.
Ano ba? 400 ano? 420. Big blind.
Still a big lead for Nico Isip with 3.6 million.
First small blind po.
Stanley with 9-5 suited, his first to act. Limps in. Nico Isip with ace high.
Sorry. 200. 260 total.
Raising it big to 260. It's a fold from Stanley. Nico Isip playing it really aggressive once the deal was consummated. Busting Dolph Ramo and Jay Padilla quickly to bring him to heads up against Stanley Harata. He continues to play aggressive. Gives the walk to Stanley.
Only win 2.
Stanley Harata goes all in with Jack 7 off. Nico will not oblige.
Nice up. 40-80.
Pocket fours for Nico Isip. Open jams. 5-6 suited for Stanley Arata. And Stanley Arata makes the call. Essentially a flip. It's like holding queens versus ace king. Let's see. Stop the mid pair, but the turn gives Nico Isip the flush, and the 4 will play. It's a quick heads up with Nico Isip, who came into the final table as the chip leader, maintained his chip leadership, and eventually cop this week's 400,000 guaranteed title. Congratulations, John Nico Isip, our 400k weekend special champion. Congratulations to Stanley Arata for coming in second. And that concludes our live stream for this weekend. We would like to congratulate the rest of the players who made it to the money. Next week, we invite you to join for the most, undoubtedly the most popular weekend special in the series, the 700,000 guaranteed. It has a buy-in of 3,000. It starts Friday, final table on Sunday. 3 chances to qualify for the final day. You have day 1A on Friday, and Saturday holds 2 flights, day 1B and day 1C. And of course, don't forget, for those who are trying to complete the 300 points required for the 1 million free roll, all you have to do is play cash games starting tomorrow up to the end of March, and you will get double points. That's the last quarter rush for the Metro free roll. And with that, we thank you for joining our live stream. We invite you to come visit the Metro. You can easily locate it. It's searchable in ways. And in behalf of the men and women of the Metro Card Club, our team of operators, and the rest of Philippine Poker, ito po ang inyong lingkod, Jester Intia, nagsasabing maraming salamat, magandang gabi, mabuhay ang manlalarong pokeristang Pilipino.
Champion, Mr.